What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Gonna do a little update here. So got the blower motor and stuff out. Had to put a new resistor in. The old one was bad. The blower motor is kind of gross, but it works. Cleaned it up. Dad got it all cleaned and seems to be rolling and doing its thing. So that's where we're at with that. We're gonna get all this back in here today. Hopefully make sure the heat works and stuff. While I was waiting on the resistor to come in, I went ahead and got all of the carpet padding laid in. Hopefully you can see that. And I've got all the stuff for the dash in here. Then obviously like the CD player, and I've got a couple blank spaces, and basically we're gonna make sure this works today. So see where we're at with that. I need to get some like new glue or do some like double-sided tape or something for these panel things down here. I don't have the carpet out here right now, but I got the carpet basically cut and laid in, and it's like roughly the size that it needs to be. Only thing it really needs done, I think, is kind of trimming up near the firewall on both sides and then along the center console. But I'm still waiting on my center consoles to get done from my upholstery guy, so can't really trim it until I know exactly where it needs to be, obviously. So get to work on this and give you a little update as we go. Alright, so what we did was we got the motor back in, got the fuse in, kicked it over. See, you did take it in the house, look at that. Kicked it over and it, you know, did its thing and went bleh, and then stopped. Blew the fuse, so pretty positive the blower motor's bad. The switch is definitely sending signal to the resistor and then into the motor, but once it hits the motor, it's backfeeding, killing the switch or the fuse. So gonna get a new motor on order, and then I finally removed these terrible ass stickers from the front and off the side window here. We've still got, ooh, look at that blowout from the sun. It's so sunny. Sorry. Still got, as I stand on stuff, these stupid stickers over here to get off, and then after that they'll be all done there. And yeah, that's where we're at. So once the new blower motor gets here, I'll cut back into this and we'll continue on for another day, because for today can't do much. Wasn't just a resistor, which is what we were hoping, but you know, is what it is. We were pretty sure that the switch was sending power, which it was, it is, and we thought we got the motor freed and able to be run, but like obviously it probably won't last. Yeah, obviously something electrical was not our fan with it, so that's where we're at. Oh, update. The car runs. I don't know if I even said that. Drove it, run it, you know. The issue was this boot, the intake boot here. Let me see if I can, I can't grab it.
When they buy a brand new one, they better save their plug.
Yeah, so this intake boot, hopefully you can see it here. There's a bunch of stuff in the way. There is another hole on the bottom back here.
Where's the
right back here. It's in the bottom of the thing. There's a plug that goes in the bottom of that intake boot. Randomly, when we were switching out the throttle position sensor, we took the boot off and realized there's just a gaping hole in the bottom of it. There's no place there for a vacuum line. There's only one spot. So, you know, is what it is, I guess. We figured it out. It wasn't a computer or anything else that we kind of dreaded that it would be. So, big ass vacuum leak. That's what it was, which makes total sense. So, all right, we'll cut back in once we got more stuff. I'll see you in a little bit. Hey, all right, we're back. It's the next week. It's Friday. We have the blower motor. I'm gonna get this stuff out of here, out of the way. Not out of here, but out of the way, and try to get that done. The new gas pedals in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and unclip the old one, get that one on, And then I'm probably actually going to prop the back of the car up because I need to get underneath and see why or what is happening when I'm in second and fourth gear. Something is like rubbing on the shifter or something. I don't know if something's loose or what, but I gotta get under there and figure that out. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so put the new blower motor in. Resistor's hooked up. Flip the key on. Instantly pops the fuse again. So we checked the resistance from the battery to, or make sure we're getting power and everything in. We are. Everything's good there. We checked resistance from the wire, the power wire from the box to the switch. We've checked it both ways just to make sure, and it's not ohming out. So now we get to...
It is ohming out. It's shorted to ground.
Well, I mean, it's not ohming to nothing.
Yeah, it is.
What do you mean?
An infinite zero is a ground. Shorted to ground.
Alright, anyway, so the power wire is grounding out because it's obviously bad somewhere. But now we gotta try to figure out how and where and I don't even know. Hopefully it's just right up here underneath all this HVAC stuff, but we might have to pull the whole dash. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah. Alright, till next time. See you later. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, welcome back to day 3 of trying to figure out what's going on with the blower motor situation, why it's not working. Show you do what we did on the inside here. So we got all the wiring pulled out that runs back through here and over to the stereo and heating HVAC area. We tested all this stuff. It was still an open circuit for some weird reason. Couldn't figure out what was going on. And then we realized that these relays here, these are new relays. The relays that were in here, we popped both the relays out, checked the circuit again, and it was fine. Then all of a sudden, right? So we plugged the 2 new relays in, and lo and behold, that was the issue the whole time. When I was looking in the book and at the wiring diagram, I don't even recall seeing that the green line with the brown, the solid green wire with the brown line, that's the power feed that runs to off of the box and into the underneath everything under here that powers up the fan switch, the recirculator, and the AC, and then it apparently runs to those 2 relays too, which I had no clue, because if that was the case, I would have just took them out in the first place and not pulled all the wiring and checked. But it is what it is, I guess. We checked everything. All the wrap underneath there was all cruddy and nasty anyway, so it's probably a good idea that we just pulled it all out. And I'm going to rewrap it now and get it all fed back through and start hooking stuff back up, and then I'll show you what's going on and flip the AC or the heat on for you and try to figure that out. But then after that, I got to jack the car up and figure out what and why is leaking underneath the car, because there's either a power steering issue with fluid coming out somewhere out of the rack. Either something's not tight or the rack is just shot, which I don't understand, because when we filled it up before, didn't have an issue, nothing was leaking out, but there's obviously something going on. Everything's wet underneath there and running down onto the bottom of the transmission and stuff like that. And from what I can tell, there might be a small oil leak from the like the tensioner, the chain tensioner area, like, but that looks like super tiny, like so minuscule it should barely be doing anything. That might be the whole problem. I don't know. It might be leaking around the front cover. We might have to pull all that stuff back out and reseal it and do it that way. I don't know, but we gotta get under there and see if it's the power steering or not, and kind of go from there. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna go get this wrapped, and then we'll get back to it and talk some more. All right, so we've got everything back in the engine bay. Everything's good. We're solid. Boom, look, there it is. Turns out it was a couple relays back behind here. So back behind this center HVAC panel thing here, there's a relay here and a relay there. If those relays are bad, which is what we found out, it will... Wow, that's terribly blown out. What is going on? This thing is awful today. Huh, there we go. It will pop your fuse. It will... I mean, it just will, because it'll create just an open circuit instead of closed. So when we looked at the wiring diagram, I don't recall seeing the relays on there whatsoever, but they're there, and if they're bad or not right, your stuff won't work, period. But blower motor and everything's working right now. It was a pain in the butt to get the blower motor switch back in, like correctly in, so that it was like actually on 0 and facing up. I don't know why it's so finicky, but it is. Got all that in, and yeah, got the shifter situation fixed. If you get a Garagistic Supreme shifter, like the short throw shifter kit, like everything I have the DSSR, I have all their bushings, I have everything. I bought the whole everything to replace everything with the shifter assembly. Be very careful. I did not realize there are set screws on like the center ball with it goes down into the joint down in here. Let me show you. So there's let me see, come on, work. So right down in here, the metal ball, there's set screws on each side of that ball. You can screw the bottom threaded section up into that ball more. And when I received it from Garagistic, I was not aware that could or needed to be threaded up. So what was happening is the bottom piece on the bottom of the actual shifter that you thread onto the bottom, the set pin for the DSSR, the selector rod goes through, there's like, it's like Delrin on the bottom, and that was rubbing on the drive shaft because I didn't know that I could or needed to adjust that threaded rod up into the ball more. So we took the assembly out. I went underneath, unpinned it, took the set screws out and everything, came back up, popped it out, took it out, and then we just adjusted it to have, you know, another basically ½ inch of clearance down there to get around from hitting the drive shaft, because you don't want that. I mean, it was barely touching it, like, I mean barely, it was just being grazed, but it was very annoying, and it made a loud noise, and it was causing vibration in the shifter, obviously. So that's what we did. So alright, that's it for this time. Next time we're going to probably tear the front end of the engine back off, because we have a leak somewhere and can't figure out where it's coming from. We thought we knew, we thought we got it sorted, but doesn't seem to be the situation. So gonna tear that back off and get a new gasket and try to replace all that stuff up there. So seems like the stuff that came with the rebuild kit that I got was very cheap, or just, I don't know what the deal is, but it's definitely leaking somewhere in the front case and the engine. So what will we do next time? Alright, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.